Stacy will be on, I guess, as soon as she can.
That works. Good Friday evening, everyone. It is launch day for Carrie Carter. And let me just say, she had a live in-person launch event yesterday. Holy crap, you guys. I was told that it was sold out. That is amazing. Okay. You hit #1 new release, and not just your ebook, but also in your paperback. What a hell of a way to do your debut novel, Carrie. Hey!
Thank you. Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it?
Play, girlfriend. You have come to play. So we are talking about Whiskers Abroad, which Bayou City Press is your publisher, which is Julie Connor, which I love. I'm Julie's biggest fan. And your publicist is on, which is Mickey with Creative Edge. And I'm just the party host person. Okay, I love to do this. It has always been so much fun. So Carrie, tell us a little bit about your debut novel. What made you want to write Whiskers Abroad?
Well, that's actually kind of an interesting question, because how Whiskers Abroad actually came about was like every year I would send out emails to my friends with a list of things I like: cats, coffee, reading about infectious diseases, blah, blah, blah. And then I'd be like, pick a career for me. And I'm sure they're rolling their eyes and like, oh God, this again. And they're always like, I don't know. And my sister goes, pick cats, Japan, coffee, and writing. And she's like, now write about cats, Japan, and coffee. And I was like,
Nice.
You know what? That is a great idea. So that's how it originally got started.
Nice. I love it. So how long did it take you to write your book?
Oh gosh, 5 years.
That was a topic of conversation last night at the launch. Several people said, we had to push Carrie, but she made it.
Well, I'm really, really bad about coming up with all sorts of plans and goals, and I don't do any of them. Like I make like 26, 30, 35 New Year's resolution every year, and I do like one. So
hey, but you do one. Okay, I've given up doing those because I'm just setting myself up for failure. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like I have good intentions of doing them, but I just don't. So at least you complete one. Okay,
what's that optimism you have at the beginning of the year, and you're like, I'm going to change everything. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to lift weights, and I'm going to look awesome. I'm going to cook all my meals, and I'm going to train my parakeets.
Right, I'm gonna meal prep, do everything, go the full 9 yards, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and then 3 weeks later in it, you're like, I'm not that optimistic.
I'm over it. I'm over it. This is a lot of work. I'm good, right? I love to hear that. So I would love to hear about, just the creative spin that you took on your book. What was that process like for you? Like, how did you approach it in the way that you did? Like, did that just normally happen, or kind of what was that process like for you?
A little bit painful. I started, I first started, hello, Greg. I first started outlining it, because I picked out like, where did I want to go? What they want to do. So that was easy and that was good. And then I just started writing it, and I had to piecemeal write it because I'm like, I was working, I was doing this, things came up and I didn't feel like writing. And my sister was doing all the pictures and the graphics and layout. And she was the one that pushed me to finish. And she was like, you know what you need to do? She's like, you need to write your 2 crappy sentences every single day until it's complete. And I was like, can't argue with that. Anybody can do 2 sentences a day.
Right? Yeah.
So
that's a good goal.
That's a bit at a time. It got written.
Yeah. I love to hear that and kind of hear the background behind it, because there's always a story behind the story, right? Sandy Lawrence is very notorious for saying that. And so I evolved from her. But, Julie, I want to kick it to you. What was it like? It's your first, published author besides yourself that you're doing for Bayou City Press, and you did an in-person event yesterday. So tell us a little bit about that process for you.
Well, I was in heaven yesterday. First of all, I love Carrie's book. I loved it from the first moment I started reading it. I thought, how is this not picked up by a big New York publisher? Right. This is such a wonderful book. It's fun to read. It's informative. It's got humor, which I find is the hardest thing to write. Just listen to Carrie talk. I mean, she says her list was Japan, coffee, writing, and reading about infectious diseases. I mean, who throws in reading about infectious diseases? Well, Carrie does, and it's all through her book, that kind of comic shift on different takes. And so I was just so happy. But this book is not just wonderful, I have to say, it's not just wonderful, it is wonderful for Carrie's writing, but it's equally wonderful for her sister Stacy's illustrations. They are gorgeous, and they add so much to the book. And in today's younger generation, they love graphic novels. This is not a graphic novel. There's too many words, but it's like a graphic novel. It feels like a graphic novel. There's so much visual there to just enrich what you're reading. And it helps you learn. I mean, there's the captions with a Japanese word and the English translation. So it's very easy learning as you're going on. It's just a great book. So yesterday, we've been working on this so long, Amy, you and Mickey and me and Carrie and Stacy, we've been working on it. And it's like, thank goodness, it's finally all come together and the baby is born. And I really feel that way. Our baby book is born now.
I love that. I love that. And so I want to take a minute, you guys, we are going to have goodies that we will be giving away throughout this entire program. So make sure that you either you can comment, share, whichever one you want to do to be entered. You guys know I am a sucker for the Wheel of Names, and that is my giveaway of choice, is to enter you guys in the Wheel of Names. So all of you guys watching, share, comment, whichever one you want to do to be entered, because we have some fantastic giveaways going that are going to be presented this hour, this fun little celebration hour. So Julie, tell us a little bit about your live in-person book launch yesterday. You guys sold out, I heard. That's amazing.
Yeah. I can't tell you the joy it gave me to sit at my computer and write books sold out and to put it on the signing table, because this book deserves to be sold out. So Amy, I think you have some photos, and maybe we could start on some photos.
I do, Julie, I do.
Let Carrie talk about the photos and here's Stacy. Hey, Stacy.
Hi, Stacy. Welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. I'm leaving work right now.
Okay, we understand.
I'm like, are you exercising?
No, I'm leaving work.
So maybe we can look at some photos and they can talk about them. I mean, I can talk about them all day, but Stacy and Carrie should talk about them.
Absolutely. Let's talk about this one.
Aww.
Oh,
It's Jumbo Ashi.
that's the cat in the book.
Yeah,
I
I think
love
he's like 5 foot tall. We made a 5 foot tall cardboard cutout of him. And we've done some Ashi tours, taking him around. People take pictures. But interestingly, the big reaction was when I was leaving Comapalooza, and I had that cat, and people were like rolling down the windows like, big cat, and just cheering it on.
Yeah, and at Comapalooza, people would walk by and they wanted to take their picture with the cat. They all wanted to take their picture with the cat. He's a star. Ashi's
He's the star.
I love it. So whose idea was it to do the big cutout of him? Because that's genius.
That was
it's our
Stacy.
visual person. Who do you think comes with all these great visual ideas? Of course, it's Stacy.
I'm from a sign shop. I used to be a designer for a sign shop, and we would do things like that all the time.
I love it. I love it. Yes, big cat. Yes, absolutely. Carrie, so Carol Ann, I'm so glad you found us. Welcome. Welcome. All right. So I know that we have more photos to share. So let me stop sharing for the moment so I can get to it, because I have them in order and I don't want to mess up my order, because I'm notorious for that and I don't want to do that.
Well, I got my friend who did the photographs for us sent me 150 photographs.
Oh,
They're all
wow.
good. So I'm going through them today trying to pick out which ones to show tonight.
Right? I love it. Let's talk a little bit about this one. So, Carrie, let's talk a little bit about, this is your first book, right? So, what was it like doing the in-person book launch? Did it just make everything feel so real? I always felt like, I don't know, whenever I go to author events like this, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. I feel like I live vicariously through you guys. So I would love to hear, what all was going through your mind last night when you
Honest,
were still
yeah.
sleeping.
Honestly, it was more surreal than feeling real. You know, you're like, I can't believe this finally has happened. Like, there's finally a copy in my hand, and people are reading it, and hopefully they're enjoying it. Or maybe if they're not enjoying it, maybe it gets them angry, and that's a good response too. Any response is a good response. The worst response is like,
Why
whatever.
would they get angry about it though?
I don't know. You know how people are these days.
Oh, they might take exception, for example, to the chapter where there's a drunk man in the street and say, oh, that's just not what happens in Japan. People come up with all kinds of things that they react to.
Or they might be disgruntled about the fact that the cat can type. I actually got that as feedback a couple of times. They're like, I can believe him talking and going to Japan and his opinions, but I can't believe him typing. Because he wrote his half of the book. But yeah, it's just fun and weird and exciting, like everything all rolled together.
I just want to say how much of a pleasure it was working on this project and helping you, Carrie, get the word out and getting reviews and
I'm sorry, I have no idea what's going on. I'm not getting any sound at all.
Oh, Stacy, can you hear us?
I think it's gone to her Bluetooth, maybe.
Oh,
right.
Probably.
No, I'm getting bad. It'll talk and then it cuts out for a few minutes, so I don't know what's going on with the sound. I apologize if you guys asked me a question. So.
It's all good. It happens. It's all good.
No,
I
for
have
sure.
bad lighting, so it's all.
And I just wanted to attest to Julie as well, and just you both, like Julie and Carrie, you both have been like super amazing about everything and professional, and it speaks out to the work first and foremost. I work with lots of authors, and you guys have been amazing through all of this. And we're going to keep going with it. We're going to get you guys interviews. We're going to get you magazine stuff. We're going to get you TV interviews. And I'm just really, really proud to be a part of this. So thank you for letting me do that. Just wanted to put that out there.
Well, thank you. Thank you for all
interview sounds exciting.
Yeah, it'll be good. We'll get more.
Yeah, Mickey has heard this. Maybe Amy, you might have heard it. I don't know if Stacy and Carrie have heard it. Carrie has, I think. So Mickey set up interview for me with this podcaster named Ran El-Fassi, and I did an interview with him about my first book. And then he interviewed Carrie about her book before it was out. So great. It was a fun interview. He's an interesting guy. He's into photography, and so his podcast is focused on the visual look of it. So, on like Thursday morning, I looked on Amazon because I already knew that already, despite what was supposed to happen, Amazon was mailing out the book to people. So the people who have Prime had already gotten a copy of the book. I look on Amazon and there's a review by Ran El-Fassi raving about the book and talking about how he met Carrie through this podcast and he thought she was a really interesting person and he loves the book and it's so visual and Stacy did such a wonderful job with the pictures. And I'm going, that's all well and good, but what about my book?
We'll make it happen, Julie. Don't you worry. I'll ruffle some feathers.
Anyway, I was just really impressed because Ran, he remembered Carrie from a month or 6 weeks ago. He ordered the book, and as soon as he got it, he read it, and he jumped on Amazon and did a review. And I think that just shows how people react to this book.
Well, you're telling stories, Julie. So can I share one or no?
Sure.
I sent an email out today to a Canadian television station where I live. The executive producer is a huge fan of cats. She works with cat rescues, and she'll rehome lots of cats.
Yay.
And she'll catch stray cats in her home. When I sent the book cover to her and I told her about Carrie, she was like, I've got to talk to this girl. I got to get an interview with this girl. So, Carrie, you're going to be interviewed by a Canadian television station, even though you live in the States. And it's a result of all of this stuff. So it's just really, really, I just wanted to share that because it's so amazing. And you know what? Honestly, she will probably like the fact that the cat types. She thinks that's going to be fantastic. So
Good.
Just
You're
wanted to
supposed
say
like
that.
him typing.
Just wanted to say that. So anyways, thank you both again. So
Well, we thank you. And we thank you. We thank Amy. We like everybody that's participated and helped us get the word out. And hi. I see we're seeing our friends pop up on the screen. We're so happy. That was Diane Jobin, my friend who lives in California now. So welcome and thank you for joining in.
I love it. Well, Carrie, I want to show this photo that Julie sent me, and it's you doing a book signing, and you're signing a book. And I want to kind of talk about, how that was for you. Like, I don't know. I feel like, if you get to sign books, you're pretty much famous, right? That's kind of my motto. So did you feel that way? Did it kind of just make everything like sink in and was so surreal, or what was that like for you in the moment?
Well, I will say when I sign the books, it makes it feel very legitimate, Like I'm actually signing a book that a publisher put out, and here it is, somebody in front of me that bought that book. They didn't find it on the floor and be like, can you sign this? They actually bought it. So, and it was a great feeling.
Yeah. See, I always, that would kind of be, I don't know. I feel like that I would be the same way. If I was signing a book or something, I would just be like, oh my gosh, this is my book and someone else has published it and I'm actually holding it for somebody else and signing their name. All of that would go through my mind, and then making sure that I signed their name right, because I'm just a really bad speller, So it would just be all of these things together, and I'd be like, oh goodness. Like, I don't know. I feel like it would all like sink in, for me. So that's why I was like, I wonder, how that was for you, because it is your first book. And so that moment when you saw your book, when you received your cover or your copy of your book, tell us a little bit about, that moment, kind of what that was like, because I'm fascinated by it.
Yeah, so Julie sent me a text. First of all, I was having a really crappy week at work, because I was just screwing up left and right. And I was like, oh man, they must hate me. Then Julie sends me a text and you're like, a copy of her book is coming. It should be there this evening. I was like, all right, that makes this all worthwhile. Who cares about work?
Yeah.
And I get home, it says it's been delivered and it's not at the house.
Oh man.
It's missing. They delivered it to the wrong house.
Oh.
So I we had the picture taken of where they delivered. And I said, Carrie, you must recognize this door where they delivered it. And she said, I don't recognize this door.
No, I didn't recognize the door. I didn't recognize the fact they had a sign that said beware of dog. It's the house across the street.
Oh.
So she walked up and down the block until she found her book.
I was like, I can't believe I don't know what my neighbor's house front door looks like.
Hey, you know what? I wouldn't be able to tell you either. I'd have to go stand in front of it to describe it, So yeah. I get it. I understand that. But oh my gosh, you had a crazy week at work and then they delivered it to the wrong house. Like, girl, I feel you. I feel
But you know what? It all got better when I looked at it and I saw it and I was like, it's fine. It's finally happening. It's really happening now. Now it's really happening, right?
Yeah. See, so what was the whole, process like for you? Because, the publishing journey, it has peaks and valleys, right? Or highs and lows and all that kind of stuff. So what was it like for you? Like, are we going to get another book from you, Carrie? Or was it one of those like, oh gosh, I'm done,
No, there's going to be more Whiskers Abroad and there's going to be more just fiction book. I've got some fiction novels written that need to be kind of polished up and figured out if anybody would want to read that subject matter or not.
Oh, I love it.
They're not your typical, whatever. They're kind of between genres.
We had a kind of vote last night there were a lot of people. It was a crush here last night for the paperback launch. And so the question came up, what are you going to write next? And so half the people wanted to write Japanese, Adventures in Japan 2.0. And other people said, no, do South Korea. So, there's all these ideas. Everyone, they're waiting for the sequel now. They want it. They want the next book.
Right.
Yeah, I actually started outlining both Japan and South Korea because I'm not sure which direction it's going to go. A lot of it might depend on airline tickets because I need to go back and confirm that all these places still exist and they haven't gone under because of the pandemic. And, that's a little bit of research. Yeah. That's like the best kind of research.
Oh,
I think you get
a vacation.
Yeah. Well, before we dive into that or anything, I promised people we were going to have giveaways, so let's do our first giveaway. So Julie, what are we giving away this go round?
Tonight, the giveaways are free copies of the ebook. And the ebook, by the way, is fabulous because the colors on the screen are so vibrant and gorgeous. So if it was me, I love physical copies of books, but to read it for the first time, an ebook is a wonderful way to go.
I love it. So you guys, if you want a chance to win, we will be doing these throughout this hour. Make sure you like or comment or share to get entered into my lovely wheel of names. But let's do our first giveaway. Is everybody ready? Yes. Yes.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Hold on. It stopped sharing. Wait. I was all excited. I built up the hype and everything. I'm just playing. Okay. It's back. It's back. All right. Here we go. Yeah. I love it. I'm such a nerd. I own it. Okay. I love it. Ooh!
Greg!
For Kelso! Yay! Oh my goodness. Greg, I need your email. Now I have his email. I will get it. But Greg, you are our lucky first winner. So with that being said, I'm going to write down your name, but you cannot win again. So we are going to remove your name. But continuing with the conversation, Carrie, so what kind of research went into this book?
14 trips to Japan.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. 14 trips.
Yeah, so like throughout all the trips, it all kind of accumulated into the book.
Oh, okay. So I have got to know, is there like a obsession with Japan, or where does that kind of stem from? Besides the fact that, your sister gave these, suggestions and you ran with it.
Right. Well, I like Japan. Like even as a kid, I was kind of fascinated by it because I used to watch, Gamera and those movies, and I would like look at the cities and I'm like, look at that sign. Look at that building. I'm like, I'm not even watching the monsters fight. I'm looking at the scenery, and it's toy scenery at that.
Right.
But I never thought I would go, And then in college, I joined the anime club, and I was like, well, this is interesting, and this is fascinating. This is different, but I'm never going to go. Right. And I was like, Tokyo is going to be a city I hate. It's busy. It's loud. It's full of people. And I'm like, eh. And then my husband worked for Continental Airlines, so we could fly on standby for free.
Right.
So, we'd go wherever Continental would fly. But there's a direct flight from Houston to Japan, and it's easier to get on than to go to Europe, because Europe, you got to go to Newark, and you might get bumped. So we did a lot of trips to Japan because of that. But I also just kind of fell in love with the culture and the food, and the people are friendly. And it's just interesting because it's so different than the United States.
Right.
I read and listen to all of Carrie's interviews, and I learned something on one of her interviews. She talked about her first trip. They were just going to have a 4-hour layover at Narita. Well, 4-hour layover at an airport, I grabbed something to eat and read for a while to get, She insisted, and she pushed her husband to leave the airport, go to downtown Tokyo, turn around, get back and catch their plane, and, not miss it. That is adventurous. I would do that. I
will say there's a part of me that knows if we missed our flight, we would get the next flight as a standby or the day after, and I am totally for staying an extra couple of days that you're stuck,
Right. Man,
I don't know. Just for me, 4 hours, I am not leaving an airport, going through customs, going through immigration, going through getting your pass. All that's just to get out of the airport is a 2-hour job. And then to get back in the airport to your gate is probably 3 hours, at least nowadays.
But at that time, I'll say you could get out of Narita Airport fairly quickly. Customs and immigration was just like, and you're done. I don't know how it is now, but at that time, it was quick. So that helps a lot. That helps a lot when you're leaving and you only have a few hours.
Oh my goodness. See, I'm going to live vicariously through you guys, because I am not a good flyer. If there's turbulence, I'm the first person that screams. And it's not a scream like, I'm being murdered. It's just like a yelp, where you're just like, oh my goodness, I'm going down. Like, that's me. I'm not someone to have on. So I don't know if you're ever going to catch me on an international flight, because I do that flight just going when I went from Houston to San Antonio. to pick up a car when Harvey hit. So, and that's just a 45-minute flight. Okay. So I'm going to live through y'all world travelers, because y'all are probably just much better than I am. It has to be. You went 14 times. So what's the whole initiative behind the 14 times?
Well, mostly because, like I said, we liked it, and it was an easy flight to get from Houston. And then later on, when he was no longer working at United, we would kind of tack it on to other trips, like we'd go to Korea and then have, a week in Japan at the end of it, or go to Thailand and have a week in Japan, because you have to stop off, because you can't fly direct not from Houston to like Korea or Thailand, so you have to have a layover somewhere. So might as well be Japan.
Well,
and then we could go shopping.
Well, yeah. Okay. So where else have you been?
Obviously I've been to South Korea. And I've been to Thailand and Ireland and Germany and Brazil. I spent a month in Brazil with Rotary.
Oh.
So that was interesting. So it was less of a vacation and more of like, you're here, you're seeing the culture, you're meeting people, you're staying in their houses. So you get a little bit better sense, because you're always on the periphery as a tourist.
Right.
You never really know a place or culture, but you can have impressions. And that's what this book is. It's a first-time traveler's impressions.
Yeah. See, I think that is so great for someone like me that lives through you guys. But I know I received this photo, so I know that you see you're naming off someone's bucket list. I can't see Facebook user, but I'm assuming that that's Mombi. Mombi, if that is, just high five me or something. But you also have stickers, right, that people can get. How can they get these?
You know what? We need to figure out how to get the stickers to people. My sister made stickers for the party, and I know we're going to sell some. Like, we're going to go to Pop Cats, which is a pop-up cat-only themed, convention in Austin. So we'll sell stickers there. But, also, if anyone wants a sticker, all they have to do is like email me, be like, "Can I have a sticker?" And I'm like, "I'll send you some. I'll put it in the mail."
Yeah. So I want to know, because I have cats. Okay, I have a black cat who thinks it's a dog, which is why I love it so much. And I have a calico cat. So I would love to know, what kind of cat is your favorite?
Oh, kind of cat? The friendly kind?
The friendly kind? It doesn't matter. All cats are welcome. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're all welcome. They're all cute. As long as you let you pet them.
Yeah, I get it. Well, okay, so have any of you guys heard or know of, I went to this Bubba Tea place, and it is a cat lounge that serves Bubba Tea. And so you pay and you can pet cats, study, whatever, for however long you want. Has anyone heard of these like cat lounges before? I have never heard of them. And then I saw the most like wonderful and beautiful all white fluffy cat, like from the Aristocats animated movie, like, what is her name? Duchess. And I paid to pet that cat. I'm not even going to lie. I was like, take all my money. I'm going to pay to pet this beautiful, beautiful cat that just wanted to lay in the window and wanted me to have nothing to do with it. But I wanted it to know I loved it. So, I mean, have you guys ever been to any of those? Is anyone else?
Yes, they started in Japan, actually. Because, everyone lives in such a small apartment and they may work long hours. And a lot of apartments don't allow pets. So they have these cat cafes, and that's where they started. You pay your $10 to drink some coffee and sit there for an hour, and you can pet the cats. And here's a real kind of weird side note. So how do you pet a cat? You stroke it, right?
I mean, I stroke it, and then I like fluff my hand around its tail.
So when I was in Japan, these cat cafes, they were all like, they pat the cat.
Oh.
And it's just like a cultural difference. Yes, they don't stroke the cat; they pat it.
Interesting.
I don't know if I could contain myself, though. I mean, like, I do like little pats, but I felt like if I was distracted, I'd get carried away. I would think it was like, I don't know, my stress ball or something. I'd be like, oh yeah, this is great. I don't think my cat would like me.
I don't think cats like being patted, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think mine does. Mine is okay. So I have a black cat. It's like a Bombay cat. Mickey also has a similar cat.
Yeah, very similar.
It is the weirdest thing, because I've never, so I'm a newly conformed cat person, like cat lover. Okay, I've always had dogs, so now I just love all animals. But my cat, the black one, he likes it when you like put your hand like around his face and like over his eyes and his whiskers and just pull back like really hard. It is the weirdest thing because I'm like, that hurts. Like, I feel like I'm pulling your skin off, you know? It is the weirdest thing to me. But I have learned so much being a new cat owner, that he likes that. He likes that. So what does the cat in your book, right? Does it like things like that? What kind of personality? It comes out in the book, but
Well, I mean, you don't ever talk too much about him petting or whatnot, but he does go to a cat cafe.
okay.
He goes to see one, and he talks with the other cats there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he has a romantic kind of encounter with this Ashi, this other cat.
There may be a slight riff on Lost in Translation there. There's like a homage to it.
Okay. Well, so we're gonna let's go back to your book launch that Julie threw, because you had a lot of people there, but you had some pretty cool people there, right? So, Julie, who all was there?
Well, you have a photo. We'll get to it. Our guest of honor was a consul from the Japanese consulate here in Houston named Mr. Takayashi. So it was really an honor to have him with us. And maybe Carrie would like to talk. He's there with Carrie's friend. So he was really, really lively, and he went around and talked to people. And when he first walked in the door, we've been having kind of cooler weather in Houston. But on yesterday morning, I woke up and listened to the news, and they said it's going to be 90 degrees. Oh my goodness, it's going to be so hot with the people in the room. It gets hot outside. So when Mr. Takayashi walked into the offices, I said, "Oh, please, you could take your jacket off. You're going to die in your jacket." And he did later on after the official ceremony. Here he is talking to the assembled guest. He did take his jacket off after a while and stay and mingle. So it was really, really wonderful to have him with us. And we had other authors there, and a lot of friends and family, and people from Houston who had heard about the book and wanted to come. It was a crush. It really was. I had people helping me pass drinks and food, and they had trouble getting through the people to pass the drinks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, it was a sold out event. I just like saying sold out, because that is just the coolest thing to me, is that your first book that you have, gone out and published, you did a live in-person event, and it was friggin' sold out. Like, that is just amazing. You couldn't ask for a better, kickoff to, welcome awesome to the author community and being a writer. Like, yay. I love it. Like, that's just so amazing to me. And the fact that it was such a packed house is just incredible. And it's just, I'm so excited for you. Like, I'm just there, just do this, I love it. And I love to hear the story behind it and how you kind of got into it. And so kind of, how did you get into writing? I mean, would you kind of dabble writing here and there, or, what was that journey like to you before you really were like, man, I want to seek a publisher and see what I can do with this?
Well, you know what? As a kid, I always liked stories, and I loved reading. And in third grade, I started writing short stories. And they were always about some kids who were trying to solve a mystery, and then they get hit on the head and knocked unconscious and wake up and everything's fine. I'm like, this is the lamest story.
Okay. I like it.
But I wrote in elementary school, and then I kind of stopped, and then I wrote some in high school, and then I kind of stopped. And then I wrote some screenplays, and then, I kind of dabbled in it, but I never seriously committed until my sister's like, we're going to do this. I'm going to do this design, and I'm going to force you to finish it. So I finally got forced, and she's like, start submitting, start talking to publishers, doing what you got to do. I'm like, okay.
I love it. That's what sisters are for, man. I have 3 of them. So if you ever, need just someone else to tell you, I will share. I have no problem sharing by any means. Okay. I always say I have my actual mom, and I have 3 other moms, so I understand that they do the exact same thing for me. So I completely understand that. So what kind of, short stories would you write? Was it just like, I don't even know in the third grade what you would write in the third
Right.
grade.
Well, there were mysteries because I read Nancy Drew and Trixie Belding and the Hardy Boys. I was a big fan of them.
Okay.
That's cool.
And, and I also a big fan of Ramona Quimby, who just got into general trouble. So like my short stories were barely influenced by that. But I didn't know how to end anything, so I just had him get hit on the head,
Right.
Like,
Okay.
that's so lame.
Right. Hey,
That's like having someone wake up and it's a dream. I mean, that's like, oh, come on.
Yeah. Hey, we all start somewhere. Okay.
But you got to start somewhere, correct?
Right. Exactly. So Julie, what was this process like for you? I know that you've published a lot of your own books and stuff. Was this a different kind of journey because it was someone else's work, or what was that like for you as the publisher?
Well, you never know how an author's going to react when you start saying, this needs some editing, and the cover needs to be improved. The basic design's okay, but we can't tell it's Japan at all. So we need to somehow, just suggesting changes and edits and so forth. But I have to say, both Carrie and Stacy were just open to everything, to trying to improve the book. And at one point we had a major decision to make, and totally unlike me, Carrie told me, she called up her circle of friends and said, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? And Carrie can tell you this herself, but she told me the person said, look, you have a team, and Mickey and you, Amy, and me. And if your team is saying this is the way you should go, you should take their advice. So Carrie was willing to do that. And I had been worried as a publisher that I might come against an author who wouldn't take advice.
Right.
As another example, here in Houston, I propose writers for a group that I have at Rice University that invites authors to talk. And I heard this other new author, first book talk, and he said his publisher told him he should be going out and doing interviews and podcasts and so forth. And he said, no, I'm a writer. I'm going to sit and write. And my book is so fabulous and so wonderful. It's going to be a bestseller and a Nobel Prize winner. And I'm just going to accept all the accolades. He told the story himself. And he said, boy, was I ever wrong. Well, again, I haven't had any of that kind of issue with Carrie. She's loving being out there on the podcast and so forth. So it's
yeah, I'd like to say something real quick about that, because I'm like, I've done writing all my life, and I hadn't done anything with it. I don't know if it's because it's a lack of confidence or because I knew it wasn't ready. But I have taken a screenwriting class with a professional screenwriter, and you learn real quick how to take criticism. I mean, because he's not doing it to be mean. Right. People who are telling you to improve things or change the grammar or this and that, they're doing it because they want to make it better. Right. And you listen to that,
Right.
You listen to it. Not everybody listens.
Yeah. Constructive criticism, right, it's to make you better, right? 100%. But we have to hold there, you guys. We're going to do another giveaway. So you guys, all of you guys watching, if you haven't liked, commented, or shared, now's like your last 30 minutes while I'm moving screens and stuff to do that before we do another giveaway. Okay. It's important. It's if you want to get entered to win, I can never enter myself, but that's okay. I'm always jealous of y'all who win. Okay. I truly, truly am. All right. Are we ready? I'm not going to unshare this time. Yes. All right. Here we go. Who's going to win? Ooh, oh snap! My mama won, you guys. My mama. That's okay. Hey, you know what? Technically, in a roundabout way, that means I won because I can steal it from my mama. So I love that. Absolutely love that. So we were talking about getting out there, doing tours and things like that. So Carrie, how has that been for you? Is that like a big adjustment, or were you already kind of doing that? Like, was that, I don't know. I always felt like, I don't know. I stumbled into doing this, and it's taken me, 7 years to get to, where my face is on camera, and I'm just 100% who I am. So what was that like for you? Was it scary, or were you just like, hell yeah, we're going to do this. Let's go. What was that like?
Well, a couple of things. Like, one of the things is like, you're talking about your own book that you're passionate about and that you're passionate about. You created it. So it's easy to talk about that. And it's also easy to talk about Japan and whatnot. But I've been in a band for over 20 years. So I've been on stage in front of people, and I've been on TV, and I've been interviewed with all that. So like transitioning from talking about the band to talking about books has not been a stressor. How about that? And plus I think it's fun to do all the Facebooks. I mean, all the, like doing this live event or doing an interview or doing a podcast. I like it.
Right? It's so much fun. Now that I've gotten like more comfortable in who I am, and I'm just like, this is it 100%. It's just, this is it. It's a lot more fun. You meet so many cool people, but I feel like from an author's standpoint, and your publicist can chime in here if he wants to, it's just so great in reaching new audiences and readers that didn't know that you were there, and it brings awareness. And it, it kind of makes you feel a little bit like, hey, I really did this, like a mini celebrity. It kind of sets you apart, right? Because publishing a book is no easy task, okay? For the author or the publisher, it is no easy task at all. So I love to hear that it's just been something you're just like, yeah, nope, full speed ahead. We're doing it,
Yeah, I don't understand why people wouldn't want to promote their own stuff. And I know a lot of people don't. They're just like, I done it. I wrote it. That's not my thing. And I'm like, really? You don't want to talk about it and let people know about it? Be enthusiastic.
Yeah. Well, that's the difference with Carrie too, because many authors, including me, believe it or not, are introverts. So you don't really feel comfortable in front of an audience or having to talk. But Carrie's the opposite. She is one of the most extroverted people I know, and having heard of some of her exploits, like big festivals at the Museum of Fine Arts here in.
Oshie has joined us.
That's awesome.
Oh, I love it.
That's how you
cat.
Get a typewriter. Let's see it.
Right.
I from my side, I mean, Amy asked me, so I'll chime in. It's been really refreshing working with an author who is open and wants to do this stuff, rather than have the conversations where, no, you have to do this stuff. You got to get it out there. You got to get out there. It's been like night and day working with Julie and Carrie, because they're like, what do we do next? What do we do next? So I'm like, okay, I got to get out there and get them out there because they want to do it, rather than, no, Mickey, I can't do this interview because I'm scared and shy. No.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
I love it.
Just really refreshing.
I have one of the most important questions, though. Okay, it's a very important question, and I'm dying to hear the answer. Okay, what flavor was this cake? I mean, I'm sitting here looking at this photo, and I was like, that looks like a fabulous cake. I missed a hell of a party, and I want to know what flavor I missed.
Well, Carrie, what flavor was it?
It was vanilla. It was just like a nice, simple, classic white cake, classic.
Hey, I love it. My daughters are like me because I eat the icing first and then the cake, but mostly the icing. Okay, so it's just like we have red, whatever color icing it is generally what color our teeth and stuff are.
I was just thinking that.
Don't talk to me while I eat cake or after. Okay, just don't. But I love it. So I mean, I'm upset that I missed your party.
Me too. I wanted you here. So the thing about cake is, usually I've had a cake like this at other parties, for like when I launched my office 3 years ago, and I'm left with 3/4 of the cake. Yeah. Not this time. That cake was eaten up. It was very little left at the very end, and I saw people talking like you, Amy. They were licking the icing first.
I'm telling you. It's a thing. We're weird people. We just embrace us. Okay, we're nice people, but we like icing.
And to go back to one of the pictures you shared earlier, the thing was in Spanish it's brindis, our toast. We all had sparkling wine, and the consul offered the toast. We all got to toast Carrie and Stacy. So that was a really big moment for me to say, you've done it. It's there. Congratulations.
I love it. And this photo in particular that I'm about to show, it looked like it was just so much fun, and like a weight had been lifted off of everybody's shoulders, like it was out, no stress, we're just gonna have fun, and that's so refreshing for me to see and to witness. And it feels like to me, this was very much like you and your sister kind of thing. Like you wrote it and everything, but your sister helped you. She really was, the person that, kept the fire lit underneath you to get it out and do it. The best that all of us do, right?
We all need someone like that in our life.
We all do. We all do. I am that for Mickey, is like I like to say. I am the fire underneath Mickey, and he is vice versa. So Mickey's like the brother I never got to
She's
have.
like the sister I never had.
But I think it's just so refreshing, I feel like being an author, right? These are the moments that you should have, is when it releases, just that you can see just the pure happiness and joy and fun in everybody's face in those photos. And that is what is just, to me, the just definition of what it's like to be an author, right? Is you get to bring that joy to people and yourself. And that's what's important. But I would love to hear what is happening in this photo here, because I feel like there's a story behind this photo. It's the last photo that I have, and I'm dying to hear what is going on in this photo. So tell us who's in the photo and what's going on besides, the large cat in the background.
Okay, so the person in the photo, her name is Margot Toombs. Margot Stutz Toombs. And I met her in my screenwriting class, and she's also what she calls herself an internal humorist. And she does performance art and pieces and individual pieces. And she calls herself an internal humorist because she's like, I'm the only one laughing on the inside about what I'm doing. She's like, I think it's hilarious. So she does these performance pieces, and she read some cat haikus that she wrote. Because every Saturday she writes a cat haiku.
And they were funny.
They were funny. And the last one was very touching too.
Love her dress. Oh my gosh, it has cats on it. I didn't even realize that. Oh my gosh. Rox, thank you for pointing that out. Oh my gosh. This was definitely an event. Y'all are my people, and I should have been there because I like a good, fun, exciting event that's just fun. I just love that.
People were having so much fun, and they were talking so loudly. It took us, I don't know, several minutes to get them to be quiet. So Margaret would read her haikus. They just were going on. It was funny that they were all having such animated conversations.
Yeah. Next launch, I am flying from Canada so I can get some cake.
There you go. I'm telling you. I know. That's why I said it was the most important question, what flavor that cake was. And you had a great answer. It was a great answer.
You have to have cake. I once worked a wedding, and they did not have wedding cake.
Oh,
and there was a group of, no, I know. They did not have cake. And there was a group of like 80-year-old women. And one of them goes, I'm going to start punching people.
Oh my goodness. The sad thing is that'd be me. I would totally say that.
They left. They actually left their wedding reception because there's no cake. So you got to have cake.
That's
Take away from that.
Why wouldn't you have cake at a wedding?
That's awful. That's straight
up. No, awful. I really don't know why they didn't. That was bizarre.
If you're going to cut costs, you don't cut costs on the cake.
I'm like, at least get like a Kroger cake and like a Randall's cake, or like you doesn't have to be like a 6-tier with flowers and glitter.
No. Yep. See? Yes. See, Mombi says cake makes a party. It does. Yeah. It definitely does. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm dying to know, of all of you guys that are watching, listening, everybody out there live or on the replay, what is y'all's favorite flavor of cake? I mean, it does matter. But I want to know, how did you pick the name for the cat?
The cat's name is Ashi, and that's actually Japanese for either foot or paw. So it can, but that was my sister's cat, and that was already his name. He was already called Ashi.
Okay. See, we're just building on the family affair here. We're building on the family affair.
That's awesome.
And it seemed appropriate, too, to have a cat name with a Japanese name that's going to Japan.
It was his destiny.
His destiny. Oh, I love it.
And a while ago, I couldn't speak because I couldn't really hear anything in my car. But if you want to go to a cat cafe, you can come to my house and pet my little cat.
Are you going to charge an entry fee?
Come over and pet them.
Oh, I love it.
In fact, they're all around my feet right now. They're everywhere. They're all over the place there. I've already done Ashi. we have lots of cats. So I'm a huge cat lover. We do rescue. We do feeding
That's
of feral
awesome.
cats. Actually, Ashi has something to say too.
Cats
I
are
will-
amazing.
I can't
I
see
will-
the third in the phone. Ashi's fine.
Oh, there we go. What's Ashi's favorite kind of cake?
Tuna cake.
Tuna cake.
Fish
There you
flavored.
go. There you go. All
Fish
right,
cake.
you guys, let's
There you
do
go.
another giveaway before we do our last one. So get your comments, your likes, shares, everything in there if you want to be entered to win. I will give you 1 minute. 1 minute. All right. I lied. Your minute's up. All right. Here we go, you guys. Let's see who has won another copy of Carrie's
All the background.
Cool. I love the tuna cake is such a great answer. I would have said something like peanut butter for sure.
I think that's more of a dog flavor.
Oh, maybe. Ooh, Anna! Yay! Oh my goodness, I am making notes. Okay, you have to be removed though. I'm sorry. We only have a certain amount of giveaways, okay? But I love that you rescue and just fully encompass cats because I think that is great. I am kind of the same way literally with any animal except birds. Birds scare me. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh, come on now.
They scare me. I'm
Is
sorry.
it their feet?
Yeah, I'm telling you. It's there. I mean, I feel like I can get like, what is it, like pecked to death? I don't know. It's just a fear. I have a lot of them.
That's why
actually.
I have
Birds are
cats.
going to last in this house. They don't last here.
Yeah,
Well,
that's why I
birds are
have
afraid.
cats. I have
Don't
two
ever get
cats.
lovebirds or be around them because they're little vicious birds.
Yeah.
If you have a pair, 2 lovebirds, and you put a third one in the cage, they will harass and peck at the other one and like chew its legs off.
See, look, they get it. Bird feet are horrifying. You understand me.
But I like birds.
Yeah.
I think they're cool.
So Amy, I couldn't tell. When you put that last picture up, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't think that was the picture I sent you, so I just sent it to you again. Could you put the last picture up and maybe you have to zoom in because I really want people to see this last picture with Carrie and Stacy at the cake.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
look at
Food. Explaining to gravy food.
Let me find it.
what
That's-
is Ashi eating ice cream or what's he eating there?
Half
Stacy?
and half.
Half and half.
Oh, nice.
Maybe
why
that's why he's gotten so big.
Is it this one, Julie?
Can you zoom in and is that possible? Can you see their two faces there? What they're doing?
Oh my goodness.
So
Is there a story behind this?
We're getting ready to cut cake. Don't you always cut cake like that?
No. I mostly cut cake, trying to keep my toddler from sticking her finger in the icing. So I have to, hurry and cut.
Oh, you should just let the toddler like grab pieces and serve them. And everyone's going to be like, oh, no, I'm not hungry.
Mhm.
I think this is a sister act here. I think they've done this before. They've practiced.
It's called a couple of glasses of wine. Is what it's called.
Oh, there you go. I like it.
Well, it was as you can see, it was a fun event. We were all having fun. Even the console, you can see he's back there laughing.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I mean, you'd see nothing but smiles on everybody's face in this photo. And I think that that's, so telling of the event and the power of your book, because your book really is just making people happy. And I think that that's kind of the ultimate dream for all writers, no matter what genre you write in, right? Is for people to enjoy your work and your time and your dedication and your love and your passion that you've put into your book, right? And so,
Absolutely.
well, so I have to ask, right? What is next for Carrie Carter? What can we see from you? When can we see it? What are you working on? What teasers and tidbits can you give me?
Well, there's definitely going to be a sequel to Ashi and Audrey's adventures. I don't know how long it's going to take, but hopefully not 5 years. I'm going to have to shorten it down to a year. Work on it.
I think Ashi should get involved in sumo and get a favorite sumo wrestler and follow him around Japan and tour with them.
Oh yeah, if he goes back to Japan, he's definitely going to see some sumo. Yeah. Carrie's going to see some sumo. if there's another trip to Japan.
I think Carrie needs to bring her sister with her to Japan too.
I heard a rumor about that.
I need to creative direct the trip. So
Oh,
no, I can't leave. I have too many felines to take care of over here. So
I love that though, that you know, now you have the bug for writing and you're going to continue it and see, you know, I like to know that it's not like a one and done for you, because it has already made such an impact in so many people that I'm just like, I want more, give me more, I need more, you know. So
So
I think
actually,
so
that's one
exciting.
thing you've been talking about, because it's in paperback and ebook, but I've been pondering how would this do as an audiobook? We'd have to have,
Yeah.
I don't
we'd have
know,
to
because
have
you don't
some
have the pictures though, you know.
sultry male voice.
That's all she.
Do I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Well, you guys, are you ready for our last giveaway of the evening? Is everybody ready?
I am.
I-
That's all that matters. I'm ready.
Exactly. That is all that matters. You are catching on. You are catching on, and I love it. All right, you guys, let's see who wins the final copy. It's a tense, stressful moment. Tense, stressful moment. Who is going to win?
Dun, dun, dun.
Ooh, Brenda! Brenda, if you could message me your email, we will get you your copy. I will also send you a message too. Oh my goodness, you guys.
So I want to tell everybody out there who didn't win this time, you really are a winner, even though you don't know it. Because if you go on Amazon in the next few days and you order an e-copy, it only costs $2.99.
Yes.
And where can you get a fabulous book for $2.99? And in fact, I urge you to think about giving them as Christmas presents. You can order gift copies. That's what I'm doing to a lot of my friends, is giving them an ebook copy. And the price is going to go up pretty soon, so don't wait. And of course, you can also get the paperback online on Amazon or through your bookstore, or they'll get it through Ingram Spark. So it's available around. And if you happen to be a member of Amazon Prime, you could have the book in one day. They just are churning them out overnight. It's amazing.
I love it. Carrie, we do have a question from you from Roxanne, and she said, are you signing and shipping your books for the holidays?
Are we, Julie? We hadn't talked about it, but that doesn't mean we're not doing it.
We will be, yeah, but we'll have to, we'll
coordinate it.
Yes.
Hey, Amy.
The answer is yes. We haven't looked forward. We just look, today, yesterday,
Yes.
my goal for so long.
Now we can think about Christmas.
Right? Now we can think about holidays and what else, and getting your next book done and written in less than 5 years.
Yes, definitely. Quicker than that. So
exactly.
Hey, Amy, can I have a request for all the listeners?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so if you read the book and you bought it and you liked it or you didn't like it, anyway, if you read it, would you please leave a review on Amazon?
Yes.
It would mean a lot for me.
It is the biggest compliment that you can give to an author, whether you enjoyed the book or not. Even if you don't, there's a not an etiquette, but there is a right way to give criticism, or just to critique it in a strategic manner, technical manner, to make you guys better writers. And that's how you guys become better writers, is by learning things and continuously writing, right? Each book gets better. Each writer gets better with each book that they put out. So leaving them reviews in any form or fashion are always the biggest compliment, because you're either helping the writer become better or you're telling them how fabulous they are. Both are wins, in my book.
Absolutely.
Both are wins.
Well, it's not just that. I have to say my own experience with my first book is most of the first reviews I got were all really positive. But then I had someone come in and say, I don't like this book because of A, B, C, or D. And I thought, yeah, if you feel the same way, don't buy my book, because you won't like it. If you think you have to walk every step of your journey and you can't get any help from anybody, this is not the book for you. So sometimes those bad reviews help steer readers in understanding whether this is a book for them or not.
Yeah.
It's not as good or bad. It's I just didn't like X or Y or Z. I don't like to be scared. I don't want this book to make me scared. Whatever. You help other readers.
Right. Absolutely. So you guys, before we close out this wonderful, fun live party that we have done here, or online live party that we have done here for Carrie, I do want to let everybody know that you were #1 new releases for paperback and ebook, and you made it up into the top 5 on Amazon, which makes you an Amazon bestseller for your first book, which is friggin' amazing. So we will be celebrating this for just ever, honestly, forever. I'm going to sit here and just celebrate the success of Carrie, because it is such an amazing thing. And you really did take a leap of faith and publish your book. You submitted it to Julie, who's an amazing writer and publisher. And, you know, to put your work out there and to have it be received so well is just amazing. So you should be so proud, so excited. We are so excited and proud of you. Thank you for letting me have this opportunity to work with you and to just celebrate your success. I love doing these. These are almost so much fun for me. I would not ask for a better person to work with, book to put out, or to help promote in any form or fashion. So with all that being said, we're going to go around and do closing comments, statements, anything like that before we wrap up this party for the evening. And I'm going to kick it on over to Mickey first.
I think I've said this already today, but it never hurts to repeat it. Carrie, you've been a pleasure to work with on this project. Thank you for entrusting me and believing in me and letting me help you promote this, because it's been wonderful. And Julie, as the publisher, just thank you as well for your support, because without both of you, I mean, I wouldn't have been able to work on this. But number 2, it's just been an immense pleasure getting to know both of you, considering you friends, and working on this together. So thanks.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Stacy, what about you?
Well, I'm looking forward to doing another book.
Yeah?
I am. Like, it was a lot of fun working on this. It was a lot of hours, trust me. A lot of hours, but we may have to do a different cat the next time around.
Oh no.
Ashi's getting too fat. He's getting too lazy for his photos.
Yeah.
It's all that tuna. It's all that tuna cake, Steve. That's what it is.
So, no, I look forward to working with it. And I mean, I enjoy working with Carrie because I laugh at her writing. She makes me laugh all the time. So
I love it. The sisterly bond. I love
That's
it.
just because I'm her sister. She's laughing. If it was somebody else doing this, she would like roll her eyes.
It's sincere. Julie, last up is you. Save the best for last.
Well, no, Carrie gets a word in too, but I just say it was a wonderful day for me when Carrie and Stacy walked over my threshold and started talking to me about publishing their book. I'm so grateful to you both, and I know you both worked hard. Goodness, poor Stacy trying to, I say because I'm not an IT person. We were squashing and mashing and doing all these things to the file and flattening them some more. I thought, oh, those poor visual files, they're flattened to, a cardboard figure like you see in cartoons. They have just been smashed. I had no idea.
We had to work, though. Oh, a lot of trial and error.
Oh yeah, I had no idea that doing that, putting, because normally it's just a photograph, but Stacy created these multi-level, multi-layered, beautiful, incredible things where you think Ashi is really there, sitting in the plane besides Carrie. But then to translate that into something to be published, oh my goodness. But I have to say, I never heard a no. I never heard I'm too busy. I never heard, would you just stop it? Leave us alone. They always were responsive. And we did it as a team. All of us here on the screen working together. We did it. So thank you all.
I love it. I love it. Carrie, it's all you.
All right. Well, I will say now that we've gone through all the trial and errors, at least the next book we know what to do for Amazon and getting it uploaded. Oh, yeah. And you know what? I have to say this book probably got finished because of the pandemic. Because I was sitting at home and I was like, all right. And she's like, finish it. You're just sitting there. I was like, okay. So I'm like in a weird, kind of twisted, bizarre way. I have to thank the pandemic.
Oh my gosh.
But I really, seriously though, I hope everybody enjoyed the book as much as I enjoyed researching it. Oh, there's no way they're going to enjoy it more than I did researching it. But I hope they enjoy the book and really like it. And it's like, it's a real pleasure and exciting time to know someone's going to actually read what you wrote and it's not your mother.
Yeah.
I love my mother, but that's, you know what I mean? When your mom reads it, she's like, oh, that's the best thing ever. And
Yeah.
it could be like really horrible because that's what moms do.
True. That is a true statement. That definitely is what moms do. But you guys, thank you all so much for letting me host this event and get to celebrate Carrie, you as an author, Julie, as you as the publisher and your author. Thank you guys so much. Stacy, Mickey, Julie, Carrie, you guys, thank you guys for being on and celebrating with all of us, and Carrie celebrating yourself. But you guys, this has been another book launch. It is so exciting. I can't wait to bring you guys more. But until next time, go and check out Carrie's book if you haven't already. Like Julie said, the price is $2.99. It will be going up sooner rather than later. So make sure that you go and get your copy. But until next time, you guys, bye everybody.